Che Guevara was a Marxist revolutionary, most famous for his role in the Cuban Revolution in the 1950s. In this video, I'll take tactics from his book on guerrilla warfare and apply them to Elden Ring invasions. Strikes should be extremely rapid, almost explosive, and the guerrillas should then withdraw to a different place than their starting point. It must be highly effective and followed by an immediate withdrawal. Hit and run tactics are one of the core tenets of this method. I quickly take care of the gold with the Giant's Flame, and nearly the blue as well. But rather than stay and finish off the blue, I retreat so as not to risk getting caught in the advancing host's attacks. Make use of the element of surprise, lie in ambush. So I disengage again and wait behind this wall with my ruptured tear flask. The blue doesn't notice, and he's nearly eliminated by it, but sadly makes it back to safety before I'm able to finish him off. The absolute cooperation of the people and perfect knowledge of the terrain are necessary. Seek help from local residents. In this case, the local resident is this clean rot knight. I take refuge behind him to recover my health and FP flask, but he does me one better and finishes off this blue that has grown wise to my Giant's Flames. The enemy is surprised to find himself caught with no possibility of moving forward. Choose carefully the place for defending without retreat. As long as I'm behind this clean rut and he stands in their way, it's a great position to hold and get a lot of free damage in. But as soon as he's gone, they have the numbers advantage, and I have to retreat again. A close vision over the access points is never to be forgotten. Adjust to the enemy, maintain mobility, constantly change fronts and avoid encirclement. I make the mistake of remaining too aggressive when it's time to be passive again, and it nearly cost me the fight. Luckily, I find a way out, and I'm able to separate the phantoms. But not for long. The blue aggresses me quickly, and I'm unable to get off my Giant's Flame, but luckily, the host is killed by something off-screen, and it's done. The two biggest lessons in this invasion were move continuously, and do not engage in a fight that cannot be won. Use the enemy as the main supplier of weapons. The greatest problem in a guerrilla band is the lack of ammunition, which the opponent must provide. Now, this wasn't optimal gameplay, but this strategy would work a lot better with only one wizard feeding my carrion retaliation. The greatest problem in an invasion, besides the numerical disadvantage, is resource management, the lack of HP and FP flasks. So, by letting them feed me attacks and playing defensively, I'm able to ration my FP a lot more. Force them to expend large quantities of ammunition. Sometimes, if you're facing a lot of casters, especially in an open area, the best thing that you can do is make them waste their FP and attack before they can recover it. This worked out well with this mage, who when he ran out, I pressured him and then caught him in a corner. Keep in mind the passive entry and escape, good hiding places, and always maintain visual contact with the enemy. The second gold phantom shows up and tries to rot breath me. So, I jump away into this little room to hide and recover my health for a minute. I go back to aggress him, but the mages in the area have already done the job for me. It is never wise to let the enemy get used to a certain form of warfare. It is necessary to vary constantly the places and the forms of operation. Now that he's no longer feeding me spells, I switch to the straight sword to pressure him. This would have been a great place to swap to a heavy thrusting sword or a halberd for a more effective chase down, but instead, I just keep pressuring him with the straight sword to take the advantage while he's stuck in here with these wizards. For this type of warfare, the preferred arms are long-range weapons. The last point that I wanted to make is that there's a lot you can do from a long way with a great bow or a jar cannon to exhaust their HP. So take advantage at range before you engage them in close combat. If you enjoyed this video, like and sub, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys.